Hi, Bill McRae here. So, what are SOADs and how did they come about? SOADs is nothing but a form of advertising. It's primarily practiced in the business opportunity internet marketing space where people send out emails, you get clicks on, those clicks generate in traffic going to a sales letter or a website that sells a product and people get sales. It is and has and still remains this way one of the most effective ways to generate revenues online. Solo ads started coming into play in about 2008. But let me go back in time a little bit. You can't just collect email lists, upload them to your website, and then broadcast an email. You can't load them all into your Outlook account and broadcast emails. It just doesn't let you do that because the internet service providers, which is how you get connected to the internet, it's going to see a lot of email traffic going all at once, and they're going to stop that. They're going to block it because it reduces or degrades the quality of the score of their service because it's usually unsolicited or spam email. Likewise, you can't upload an email list to your server and broadcast email off your off your HostGator account or something like that for the exact same reason. It degrades the quality of the IP score and it reduces their ability to service other clients, so they'll dump you in a heartbeat. You need to use what's called an autoresponder. What an autoresponder is, they have a unique relationship with the internet service providers and the email service providers, people like Gmail and stuff, where they manage the responsibly delivering marketing content to people's email boxes that was actually requested by the person who they're delivering it to. So it's not unsolicited email. And Gmail actually has a filtering system that will read through it and kind of determine for itself whether it's spam or marketing, and then ultimately put things in different folders depending on their perception of things. Good, bad, or indifferent, that's what Gmail does. And I look at my Gmail accounts, which I really don't use anymore, but there's a massive amount of spam in the spam folders. And it's true spam. And most of it's not really spam. That's the sad news, is most of it is bulk email being delivered because you use your credit card to purchase something. We happen to own one of those businesses, so we know the challenges of having an agreement based on the privacy statement on a purchase that's not acknowledged in person by somebody who gave the credit card over to a merchant. But in fact, that merchant slid the card or went to a system which gave permission to that merchant to sell your data to someone like us that does bulk mail. It's perceived as spam, and Gmail treats it in many cases like spam, unless you're very good. Fortunately for us, we are very good. But where, when, and how did all this stuff begin? Back in 1998, a company by the name of AWeber came, boom, into existence. And at that time, I was running a wholesale distribution business, and we were able to do some email with our clients, definitely email within the business. It was starting to take over, and I noticed some challenges. I noticed that some of our ladies in the office had massive amounts of cryptic photographs, shall I say, and all sorts of crazy stuff was going on, and we needed to be able to keep our Outlook exchange, our exchange server clean, and was getting tons of email for no reason at all that we could tell. And that was kind of the beginning of the spam stuff, and spam filters and stuff came along, and then we had to go, okay, well, there are legitimate marketing emails coming to people that want to receive them, so how do you delineate between spam and legitimate marketing information? That was kind of the birth of the autoresponder companies. GetResponse, AWeber, SendReach. There's a bunch of them out there. And essentially their responsibility was to communicate with the internet service provider and the email service provider that, yeah, this is an authorized piece of email. And they do that electronically by the billions of emails. So you got to have as an email service provider or as a autoresponder, you have to have an audit record of where the lead came from, how they got permission to mail it, and then you have to have an automated way of correspondingly communicating with the internet service providers and the email service providers. If somebody registers a complaint and says, hey, this is Pam, it was back here, and you automatically send it back and says, no, this is how we got information in email, and it maintains that trusting relationship. If they say, this is spam and it goes to AWeber, and they don't have a record of how that lead got permission to mail to, it degrades the quality, the send score of AWeber, and thus they're not able to deliver consistently to the inbox, and their reputation drops. This is why they get rid of people who spam. Now, spam isn't necessarily just, oh, I never signed up for that list. It's also shitty emails. Somebody sends, you legitimately sign up to somebody's email list, and then you get an email that says, hey, I got $500, I need to deposit your bank account, click here to claim it. That's deceptive. That's also spam. That's 99% of why people lose their autoresponder accounts, is because they push too hard or they use deceptive tricks, tips, stuff like that to get clicks, because they get paid by clicks. So why do they get paid per clicks? Well, either they're selling a product, or more likely, they're selling clicks. Now, what do I mean by selling clicks? That's the seller ad industry. In 2010, I did a product launch called we called it MPP. Internally, it was called Passive Profits at ClickBanks. And we generated $5 or $6 million in sales. It was a very good piece of software. It worked for a period of a year or two. It was kind of a traffic-driven content magnet. And it was very cool. It worked extremely well, and we're very proud of what we provided to the customers. I had lots of compliments from people. But it was a way of making passive income by monetizing websites that were automated with AdSense. And, Google didn't like it. It ultimately created literally hundreds of thousands of websites of duplicate content, so it ultimately quit working. But boy, it worked great at that time. And how we got all those sales was we rounded up a storm of affiliates that had autoresponder accounts who had just done their own product launches. So they had these email lists, and they were sending emails out because they get to make 50% of the cost of sale. They made commissions. So out of $5 million in sales, $2.5 million went to affiliates. And then when we got through with refunds and everything, we ended up making a couple $1 million off that. But we had our own list, and we took that list and we went out and we started promoting other things, and we took that $2.5 million and then tripled it in affiliate commissions that we earned. So email list was very important, and everything was managed by our good friends at AWeber. And then AWeber, I pushed really hard, and I was no longer getting any affiliate sales. And that was about the time in 2011 that someone said, well, you can sell solo ads. I go, what's a solo ad? And so I would go to the Warrior Forum and I'd say, okay, you pay me 50 cents a click, I'll send you 100 clicks. Boom, $50. But really what I was doing is saying, hey, $1,000 or $500 gets 1,000 clicks. And I would sell a little bit to Warrior Forum, and then there became to be all these Skype groups, and I'd go there and sell the traffic. And then ultimately there were other sources, and Udemy came along, and I started selling out traffic that way. All these Facebook groups started to happen, so I started selling traffic that way. Now I sell $1 million a year in traffic through advertising I do with Facebook. So that is how solo ads came along, because people would do product launches, their lists would fade, and as their list started to fade, they'd sell traffic to wannabe people to make money, and those people would have some success with it. And then it became an industry unto its own, to where people said, well, if I bought solo ads from A, B, C, and D, I can sell solo ads to E, F, and G and make money because, I can, whatever I make over here is mine, right? The problem with that is it costs more money to get these people to here to actually take action than they were actually making. And so they would go, I got all my leads from a guy who just did a product launch, and it cost me $1.50 a lead, and now I'm losing money because these people aren't interested anymore. Oh, and by the way, they're on 20 other guys' solo ad lists that bought from the same supplier. Those leads become very jaded, and as a result of that, they're not high quality traffic like they used to be. So when I do a product launch, my leads come flowing into my funnel. They're absolutely top-notch quality, interested in buying, and they buy lots and lots of stuff. But by the time they become solo ads, they're worn out, they've seen a bunch of stuff, they become jaded, they're over it, and now they're on your list, and you're trying to make money selling solo ads, so you push it too hard, and you spent $20,000 building your list, and you barely have made your 20 grand back, and suddenly you get an email from Weber that says you have too many spam complaints, we don't want you anymore. And trust me, they do it weekly. That I literally know hundreds of people who've gotten Dear John letters. Get responses worse. They simply take your list and they put it on a very low quality IP, so no matter how hard you push, you're not going to get any success. So now we have this whole industry designed around selling traffic to people through solo ads, and we have more people trying to sell traffic than trying to buy traffic. That brings its own problem. What we're doing is what's called traffic arbitrage here, and we'll recommend to use this what's called a bulk emailer at eBusiness Traffic, because you can buy it there for 25 cents. We'll give you a coupon code, and you can sell it for 45 cents, and you make the difference. You don't have to, spend tens of thousands of dollars a month to build your list just to have Weber take it away from you. You just go out and generate the business, and we teach you how to do that in this course, and you get to keep the difference. Now, it sounds easy, and it kind of is easy, but obviously there's challenges along the way. You're going to have clients who complain. You're going to have people that say you're delivering bots. You're going to have this. You're going to have that. There are some negative sides to it, so we'll be very honest with you about that part too, because you're going to need to have some thick skin and just kind of hold the ground. Also, we're going to show you two different ways of marketing. One is through Udemy. I have serious issues with Udemy. One is for just using Facebook, and ultimately Facebook advertising, which is what we do. There are some courses we'll recommend. Well, I have a course I'll recommend you. It's very, very effective, but you got to learn a lot to do it. So first thing you want to do is go through all the training in this section. It isn't too bad. I'll start off by showing you Udemy. Should you do Udemy? Udemy takes a lot of your profits, but it's a great way to build up 15 or 20 testimonials that you can use in marketing your own business through Facebook advertising or just Facebook groups. So yeah, you probably ought to do Udemy, but don't count on it as a way of making a living. Plus, they hate resellers. We'll talk a little bit about that in that part of the course. So, hey, this course is going to make a difference in your life. Is it 3 clicks and you're a billionaire? No, it's no fantasy. What it is I got a car out there I paid for. This house, my monthly payment on the house, it's paid for. That's what it's for. It's not for being a jet setter, although I've had some amazing things happen in my business career. The solo ad business pays the bills. It doesn't make you, flying in a jet airplane with a martini and a hot chick next to you. If you believe any of that garbage is in your future, then go waste money on that stuff and don't take the time and the little bit of effort it takes to really learn how to make enough money to make your house or car payment by doing solo ads. Solo ads are daily work, but I make $1 million a year working at it about 20 minutes a day. So yeah, I spent the last 8 years building this business, building my Autoresponder company, doing stuff that most people will never do. But I would say it's worth it. And you don't need to do that. You could easily make $50,000, $60,000 a year doing this if you want to, and you apply yourself and you learn everything that we teach you. Good luck and enjoy the course.